they still can't get in. So we're going to have to dig it a bit deeper.
And do any of you have any kind of, obviously not claustrophobic problems or anything like that? Tendencies?
I don't like dark. I don't like the dark. No, not really. No, you get used to it because you dig it. You know what you're doing, see, because it's your own work.
When you sleep,
Like I went up on the walkway and I wasn't sure of any of them the other day because I thought, God, what's this? Is this all right? But people do it all the time because they build them.
What happens if one of you freaks out before the others and says, I want to get out of here?
Just give them a beating.
Render them unconscious.
Yeah. See, I don't. If somebody freaks out, just get out. Yeah. If somebody doesn't like it, just go.
You can't force people to stay.
I mean, you can go out when you want, really. It's not too difficult.
And what's your range of facilities down there? What are you taking down? How many books did you say?
About 50, I think. It's mostly war books. Yeah. It's all SAS, storm bunkers and stuff. Sort of books.
Tunnel rat.
Yeah, tunnel rats. It's really all that sort
Just
of
make us feel better.
I think it's probably from Frank, all that sort of book.
Right.
I mean, Frank gave us those. What else? We've got a game of Monopoly, I think, that we'll pass the time.
Got playing cards.
Playing cards, lots of cigarettes, lots of food, lots of water. But I reckon we still get bored. No doubt about it. It's going to be days of just just talk to the camera then, won't we? I think yeah, Jim's connected it up, maybe this fucking that's just getting dropped down. That didn't last very long. Yeah, you give me. That's a dead one, yeah? Yeah.
I think you're going to have to put your video in the box to get down there.
Explain what that is.
Yeah, what is that?
That's the first door. Right, it's pretty obvious really. That's the first door. As you go in, you'll see that tyre. That tyre, well, you remove that post there, and this tyre will fall down into that one there where Wayne is, and we'll pull it from the inside. And that's the second line, that's the second door. Once you go inside, you'll see the hatch. That's the third door.
Okay, in we go. With the camera bag as well. So chuck that down in front all the way. Now, there's some food.
Allergen's gone.
The fire hydrant, what's that for?
That's just thing for when they're trying to get through this water. No, it's obviously for a fire. Well, the allergen's no good. That's what they did.
We'll be right with it. We just use torches, I reckon.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Cool. We've got a light down in the chamber as such.
We're going down. See if I can just... That's where we've just come from. Down this ladder. And down. You got the bag down there, Wayne?
Yeah.
Okay, let's just see if I can get you. Okay, fantastic. In fact, if you take you... Fantastic. Morning. Okay, I'll just get you. You got, oh, that's a good light you got over there. Sorry, Nadine. But you must wake up. Yeah, it's hard to know what time of day it is, really, isn't it?
Very much so, yeah. It's just pitch.
Can't say I didn't know everyone else had got.
Yeah, there's no excuses really. I mean, look, there's a watch here.
There's a watch, you know what the time is.
It was still 6 a.m.
Yeah, you know when it's time to get up because the generator's stopped.
Just see if I can get on you there, Wayne. That's better. Is that really too bright in your face?
No, that's all right.
So how much digging have you been doing on here?
On this part itself,
Yeah.
I did a lot on the initial bit, but then I was doing mainly bagging after that.
Yeah.
It started to get a bit tight down there for me to squeeze in, so
Yeah.
I left it up to Swampy really. He's our tunneler expert
Yeah.
when it comes down to it, and he's small enough to get into all of the places. But the last bit right down there, we're going to have to widen it today, because there's only I think you can get down there, can't you, Nadine?
Yeah.
But me and Disco can't, because it's just way too tight.
Wayne?
Yep.
Is there any odd little bits of string up there just to tie this pipe back together again? I've got some tape, but a bit of string would be useful.
Right,
If
I'll
there's
have a
any
look.
there.
What I had a look from yesterday when they were getting that.
Just
that off.
any scraggy old bits will do.
Right.
Who's that down there?
Hey, it's Jim.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
So what are you doing down there?
Connecting the air pipe so we've got air at the end where we're digging.
Have you got a knife on you, Jim?
Yeah.
I've got one here.
How deep do you reckon this is?
Down here now.
Yeah.
I'd say we're about 15 foot under, something like that. Can't see it being much more.
And how many of you will you be down here doing the eviction?
Hopefully 4 of us, but as it stands at the moment, just 3. Or maybe 4 or 5 of us, actually.
You can hear the planes even down this way.
Yeah, they rumble down here. What sort of length do you want, Jim?
I don't know, an arm's length will do.
An arm's length, no, that's not good. There is some polyprop.
Yeah, just give us what you've got.
No, this is only tiny. There is a piece of polyprop down here. I think it's behind you, over there. Behind. Can I just squeeze past you?
Yeah.
All right, I'll cut this off and tie it. That'll do it.
You got a good stash of candles there.
Yeah. Not like using candles so much down here, though. Because they use your air supply up as much as you do.
Yeah.
Listen
You
to that
actually
sound. I'm just making a piece of length of rope just so Jim can tie the air pipe up. That's what it'll sound like when they're coming in to get us. Junk, junk. Right, there you go, Jim.
Now shift around the other way. Have you slept down here a lot, Nadine?
A fair few times. Yeah.
We try and get to sit down here every night now.
Just to get used to it.
Yeah.
So dark. can't tell if this is you. Right, yeah, okay.
Right.
Go again.
This is the battery that keeps our lighting system going. We've only got one light at the moment because this one is supposed to be a light as well, but it's blown. Got handcuffs. That's for the lock-ons. We've got a lock-on over here somewhere. Do you know the principle behind the lock-on?
Yeah, we've got some guys talking about.
Right. I mean, that goes down to the pipe. Lock on there, then they've got to chisel all of this out to get the person out. We've got all our food stashes, everything embedded back into the walls just to give us a bit more space.
What have you got to eat?
Lots of beans. We've done pretty well for food-wise. We've got some nice munchies as well as beans. So we should be quite comfortable down here for a little bit. This is our air supply connector, so we can control the air supply down here.
I'm in a second, let it focus in on that. It's... Yeah.
And I can turn it on and off from down here just so, because on the night we try not to keep the air supply going if we can help it, because you don't use as much oxygen when you're asleep, so we just leave that off and turn it on while we're working. You can see how far the chamber goes back behind there, Dean. it's a bit wider at the top, at the back, so you can sit up and be a bit more comfortable. And that's about basically it for this chamber. But if you look down there, you see where Jim's working, that's a down shaft.
Yeah.
And then that goes down into another tunnel and leads on to the second chamber. There's room enough to sit down in there. And so if anybody wants to go and chill out in that spot, you can sit down, stretch your legs, move about a little bit, and then go down to the next chamber, which is pretty much the same as this one.
You can get on both ends of torchlight down there, isn't it?
And the Queen is not the richest woman in Britain. She comes in a paltry tent with
There's the air supply.
does she manage? The richest woman in Britain is Christine Golandry, who is worth 290 million quid, and her
Fantastic.
reputation is listed as
It's going to take them a while to get you out, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it may come to a point where they just leave us and say, right, come out when you've run out of food, because the only way we can figure that they're going to do this is to open cast it,
Yeah.
just to dig a massive hole and then work like that, because it's so much for them to dig it out and shore it themselves. It's a mammoth job. I mean, it's been mammoth for us to get it to this stage, but so I can imagine it's going to be just as hard for them to because they don't like little tunnels. They have to have space enough to drag people out if they need to. So they're going to have to dig out all the little tunnels and then short it up themselves. So that again, you know, it'll take them weeks.
How long has it taken you to make it all? When you're still working now, aren't you?
Yeah, about 3.5 months I think this tunnel's been going for. But nothing's been done in the last few days because, well, we're almost ready, but we're still advancing on because we want to get another chamber done. But if we can just get one more lock on in the last chamber, that'll be enough, I think, defence-wise. Because Swampy wanted to hold out for 2 weeks this time if he could do it. But sadly, it doesn't look like he's going to be with us, but let's hope he does.
Do you think you'll try and get back?
I'm hoping he does. Because it's his tunnel, you know, he did start this, but he's made it what it is, so he does deserve to be here. And he really wants to be, so let's hope so. But if not, we'll defend it with whatever we've got here. The three of us will have a good time, won't we? Yeah, and if another person maybe, but we'll see at the time.
Oh, it's
Flashing loads.
Some tunnelers' phlegm to go with it.
No, thanks. I've already got your phlegm on the fucking camera anyway. What are you doing there, Swampy?
Taking a pallet apart.
Fantastic.
It's the floor, the tunnel.
Is it?
Yeah. It's a bit damp down in the chamber, which we just finished. So we've got to put some pallet wood down, you know, like raise it off the ground, raise the floor off the ground. Yeah. And you put the shoring on top of that.
Just so the bailiffs have a nice time when they come after you, in.
No, so that we have a nice time when we're down there.
I'm joking.
Alright, so yeah, can't have them getting wet, can we?
Oh, you don't want to get muddy.
With a nice new black suit on. Smaller tunnel than that. No, but that was the smallest stuff. Yeah, we've made a smaller one past that one.
Are you just hoping there's some fat bastard bailiffs then?
No, imagine you've got a chamber, you've got a really tiny tunnel, and then you've got a big chamber at the end of it, and you've got two people at the end of the chamber, and a pair of handcuffs. They're not coming through the tunnel, are they? They're going to gradually sort of build it bigger. Also, they can't manoeuvre you out of a tunnel that's that small. You know, they wouldn't be able to get you out.
Yeah, that's true. Fuck. So what do you do then? They try and start dragging you out, and what do you do?
Well, they'll shore it gradually, really. By the time they get to us, we'll probably feel like coming out anyway. So, I don't know, we've got lock-ons down there. So we put them in lock-ons and that. You know, we lock ourselves on,
Yeah.
you know, similar stuff to what you've been filming up there.
you know. I'll have to show you we'll get a film two-arm. We've got a full body lock on that in the entrance.
What, like crucifix?
Yeah, crucifix.
Obvious crucifix.
Legs as well. And neck.
Go on, mate. How do you decide who, like...
in it, funnily enough.
Whatever you want to do in your little kinky torture games, mate. It's up to you. When I first came, I hadn't realised that Somfy was such a weirdo. Just doing a little voiceover to the camera. When I first arrived...
I've had scary experiences in the past a bit. I mean, on this site, Mary and I was down in the new chamber, and I didn't really account for the fact that we might not have enough air for the night down there. So of course, testing my lighter, and it didn't work, and so I had to crawl out and get the fan sorted, and that crashed out. Woke up later and the fan wasn't on, so let's flick my lighter and there was no oxygen whatsoever, none at all. I don't know how long we were like that for, but I think a bit of sort of, you know, natural instinct sort of woke us up really, you know, and said, get that fan on. So we got the fan going again, you know, and you know, but we've got that all sorted now. And at Alicum we had a thing where the tunnel flooded, you know, rose about a couple of feet in the night. Well, we did it where we thought was above the water table, and it was when it was summer. We had a torrential rain this night, and we could hear, like, all the way through the night, you could hear clay and stuff like that coming down and stuff. And then Rosie says to us, "Oh, I think there's a puddle running down the mattress." And I was like, "No, there's not." And then I felt it and thought, yuck, you know, put my lighter on and saw a couple of drips from the ceiling, so I put a cup under these drips, looked down with a candle, and the water table was visibly rising above the mattress, quicker than we could even bung our clothes on and that. We had to run out, call in, and my head torch was dying, but I could just make out this soil which was absolutely blocking Ian's way out, so I had to sweep the soil out of the way before Ian could get through and that. It's a bit grim, that. Yeah, it didn't matter. I mean, we all got out safely, but, you know, it was pretty much the best part of 3 months' work down the drain, you know, which is a bit grim.
Did you ever sort of reevaluate?
You've got to keep a tunneler on site all the time, or at least 1 or 2 tunnelers on, you know. And, you know, even if there's other people have gone off for an action or something like that, you know, you've got to keep a tunneler near the tunnel.
Yeah, is that why it's right next door?
Yeah, it's right next to this. That's another good thing about this one, it's right next to the fire pit. You know, it's originally what tunnels were put there for was to stop, A, to stop the cherry pickers from getting to the trees, and B, for so that they can't fell the trees. And it worked at Fairmore. They didn't bring cherry pickers in, and they felt there to belay each part of the tree down, take it down bit by bit, you know, really slowly, and it took them ages to take the trees down. You know, so that worked in that effect, but they've become a thing unto themselves now, really, haven't they? You know, they've become more popular than the trees. And here comes Martin's sleeping bag.
When the Shads and I went on tour originally, you know, we used to have lighting, but it was either on or off.
Through the hole.
The tickets pre-sold for this tour really, really fast. The first 250,000 tickets went in a weekend or a week or something. It's really crazy.
Great action footage.
And now, before the rest, the official CIM chart compiled by Gallup. At number 5, Bob Marley with Iron Lion Zion. Tasman Archer's Not Sleeping.
Yes, he's there.
Worm, do the worm, do the worm.
Hey, there's Martin.
Good afternoon.
At number 3, Undercover's covering Baker Street.
And what a bugger that one is. That's better.
from the top.
I'll be glad when eviction comes, mate. I'm telling you. That's better.
Hey!
First number one,
Hopefully, 2 seconds.
Layman.
It's on. Cool.
It's a bit weird. Yeah, sure, head touch up.
Yeah. A lot of dust in here, isn't there?
7:52. Isn't she
just
lovely?
to
Jude?
that
Lovely.
sort of one.
Lovely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
angle the light downwards.
Lovely more. At the same time tomorrow. Hello and good morning to the girls. Hello, girls.
So here we are once more.
Hello and good morning to the
You
boys.
know,
Hello, boys.
Keith Richards, eh? It's
I love this job. Happy birthday
busy
to
night up
Liam,
top and very quiet
will
down
you
here.
marry
Just the
me?
2 of us.
From Deirdre. So the question is, Liam,
What's
will
your
you marry
name?
Deirdre? Why don't you
My name's
give us
Martin.
your reply on dear Chris, hello
haven't
to
been-
Chris Pritchard, and I'll be watching the big breakfast till
Haven't been
dinner.
living on site too long. Just over a week now.
Raynham in Kent. Facts here. We want Bob. Where's Bob?
Campaign's
Is it
going
true
sort
you
of
recorded
fairly
your
well,
stuff last
but
night so you wouldn't
could
have
be
to
going
get out of
better.
bed? Come on,
Have
you
you
can
been
tell
on
us. Give us a
previous
smile, Bob.
campaigns before?
Yeah, a couple. I was at Newbury. Did a bit of time down the A30, but had to go back to Newbury because they were running short of people there.
Here is the phone number. It is
Done a bit of the M11,
985.
a bit of the original Thanet Way against the Thanet Way, which is like back in the 80s.
Where was that?
That's Kent, but that's mainly sort of just court cases and things like that. Not actually any direct action, because direct action didn't like really start until 1994 with Twyford Downs. So it was after that that I started learning a few things about the proper way to do it. And look where it's got us, eh? Lovely. So,
Picture really isn't going well.
no.
No, it's just really hard to get. Okay, what's your name?
My name's Martin.
Uh-huh, and have you done this type of thing before?
Yeah, a couple of times. Direct action wise at Newbury and at the A30 and at the M11. Been involved in a few court cases with other things, like the Thanet Way, which was in Kent. No direct action then, because direct action hadn't actually been invented back then. And we're learning as we go along. Now, like 3 years into like campaigning this way, and we are actually starting to win. You know, we're starting to prove to the people who actually run things that we're not useless and we can actually beat them. You know, even if it means they still evict us. The last eviction that actually was Fairmile, and that lasted 7 days, you know, and I think they were pretty embarrassed about that one, to be honest.
Why do you think that was?
Why do I think they're embarrassed? Because usually it takes them a day to evict a place, or 2 days, and 7 days is just taking the mick. They had like how much money and how much manpower to do it. They spent over £500,000 to do it, and it still took them a week. You know, and that was only, you know, it could have been even longer. It was only a week because the last person down there decided to come out after a week. You know, it wasn't as if they actually evicted him. He's fair dues, I'll come out now. You know, it cost them that much money. So, yeah, that's why I think they're embarrassed, because they didn't actually really achieve anything there. Yeah, they got their woods back and they got their land back, but it cost them enough, and it cost them more in the way of bad media. They got a lot of bad press out of that, so I think they lost that one.
Right.
And I think they're going to lose quite a few more. Yeah.
Sorted. Should we check out some of the things in here?
Like what?
Like, what's this hole for?
Uh,
If we just pan down to it, shine the light. Just down here.
how's that?
Yeah, down a bit. If you shine it actually into it,
Yeah.
no. Yeah.
Yeah, well, this hole around here is for a food stash, really, because the chamber we've built isn't big enough for us all, so we've had to decide to where to put the food. We've got absolutely tons of food, so if it does turn into a siege situation, as we will, or you will fully well know by the time this comes out, then we've got plenty of place to store the food.
What have you got in your eviction stash?
Tins of beans, we've got cereal, soy milk, as you can see, peanuts, generally everything.
Peanuts?
It's, I don't know, just everything we could really want, really. You know, it's going to be amazing.
Shitloads.
Yeah, that's the one. Shitloads. I wasn't going to quite say that, but as it was said for me, yes, shitloads.
if it does come to a siege situation, they're going to have to wait quite a while, I think. Right.
Nice one.
Scary experiences.
But it's also like when you live in London, you know,
Yeah,
if you live
yeah,
there, you never go
yeah.
to see Buckingham Palace or, you know.
Yeah, that was a classic one, yeah. We got a narrow pipe. We've got a narrow tube, it goes to the main first chamber. And to get in, you've got to put your arms forward and push yourself in. And that's straightforward because it's on a slant. But coming out is a different story. You're pushing yourself out. And the first week or so, because it was so tight, you'd have to have assistance. And then one day we've decided to put an air pipe in, a yellow air pipe. It's quite thick. So I decided, I came out and I couldn't get out because the pipe was usually somebody pulling me and somebody pushing me. I could get out, but this yellow pipe just meant I was wedged. So I just couldn't move for about half an hour. Somebody's pushing me and pulling me, and I just wasn't going anywhere. And I didn't panic, but it was on the verge of it. And I must say, you know, I came out, I thought, and I thought, oh, God's sake. Another 10 minutes, that was, oh, God, dear me, what's going on? But I mean, everyone had a problem, and eventually we buried the pipe. Because it was a new, you know, everyone had a problem. You know, but that was the biggest, that was the scariest experience, yeah, without doubt.
To go to Cambridge already, saying
Is he quite academic?
Because I just couldn't believe how hard it was to get in and out.
What do you least enjoy about being down there?
Don't know how long that will last.
All right.
Least enjoy?
Yeah, well. Dad wants to be good at DIY.
I don't know what time it is in the morning. That's really strange. You know, you get up and you find you can't hear anybody because you're so. You can't hear anybody. That not necessarily mean there's nobody here. But sometimes, yeah, people have wandered off. You can't see. Yeah, I've got a watch and I always keep a watch now, but. It's interesting, I thought, well, my natural time to get up is 8 o'clock. But I automatically wake up at 10 o'clock. So I think really I should be getting up at 10 o'clock every day. Because I wake up at 10 o'clock and I think, oh, right, it's time to get up. Whereas normally I would try and set a clock to get up at 8 o'clock. I'm finding that 10 o'clock every day I'm getting up. So. Yeah, that's the thing that really. If we've got to keep a calendar, a day-by-day. You know, marking off the days. If you don't keep a log of what day you are, and what time, or whatever, I think you're really going to lose it completely. You've got that's the most important thing. I think without doubt in there to know where you are, what day you are. Yeah.
Because this is a house and we can come outside. This is it.
So that would be paramount importance.
Who's going to be down there with you?
Official turning on.
If it all goes to plan.
I can't believe this.
If you just step back as well.
Myself, Swampy,
your manager Liz is going to do the official
Mary.
turning on.
3, 2, 1.
Mary, I think Mary wants to go there. I'm not quite sure if she still does. Martin.
This is it. It's all going on.
Coming up, we've still got to go down to Dorset again with Mark Lamar and Bob Geldof.
I think that's it really.
Okay, Polly Ace is going to
Yeah.
chat to Joanna Lumley, but now
But then
it's the top
it all
of
goes
the
to
hour.
plan. I mean,
It's 8
Fairmont.
o'clock.
I mean, I thought when I heard about Fairmont on the papers, I thought, oh well, it's Swampy Animal, Muppet Day.
These are the headlines. Labour and the
You know, they're the diggers. They got in there. As it turned out, it was only Swampy who was actually doing digging. You know, Animal was just done one bucket, and she was just by the fire pit. Muppet Day had never done any work at all on the tunnel, and they were just there. So, I mean, I could be over there just having a chat for Flywood, and they could come in, and it could be 2 people who've never even been in the tunnel just jump in. You know, it could be a completely different group of people. If it goes to plan, though, hopefully it'll be Swampy me. Well, Swampy me are definite. Mary, I think, yeah, Mary, Martin, they're not sure at the moment.